If they get a D- or an F+ on this game, they still should be able to win. Welcome to Pigskin Passion TV. And it's your boy, the Black Mamba. It's season 2, episode number 96. And guys, we back. We back for another week of Survivor. And guys, who would have thought that Survivor would last this long the way the season started? Well, at least for me. My season's been over with, but there's still guys out there clawing and fighting to win their Survivor pools. And man, it's pretty impressive with the way things got started. Both leagues that I joined still are going right now and have a significant amount of people compared to some of the upsets that happen. So let's jump right into this week's Survivor picks. And as always, before we get started, let me throw out a game that if I was still in Survivor, that I would avoid. And that's the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Giants. And guys, even though the Giants may be the worst team in the league, I would stay away from this game this week. The Falcons, they're moving on from Kirk Cousins. It's been a real bad showing from him the last month or so. And they're going with the rookie, sensational, Michael Penix Jr. And from the games I've seen, this seems like the best and the right move for the Falcons to make. But Penix Jr., he's going to be a mystery box as of now because no one's really seen him play, and we just don't know what to expect. I expect he's going to be better than what we've seen with Kirk Cousins, but there's also a chance that he could not be that good, and you never know. And with that unknown, I would just stay away from this game. This could be one of those games where it's a real ugly game and the Falcons may win and it's a real close struggle. So stay away from that game if you can, guys. Now, let's jump right into these picks. And I actually have 4 options for you this week. Just in case you're tapped out of some of the top options, most of you probably will be. And at the number 4 pick is the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. This team is probably a team that nobody has used this year. I would venture to say 99% of people who are still in Survivor hasn't used the Indianapolis Colts this year. And I think this is a good week to use them, especially if you don't have any of the best options. Simply because they're playing for their playoff lives. They're still in the playoff hunt, and they are playing at home. And overall, I just think that Indy's a better team than the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee, they have switched from their rookie quarterback to Mason Rudolph, who was at one point playing or starting this year. So they're unstable at the quarterback position. I think that this will be a game where the Colts can just lean on their running game and control the clock and the game. Next up at number 3 is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. And guys, the Bengals probably have single-handedly put more people out of the Survivor pool this year than any other team in the NFL. They are just a tough team to trust with that defense. And if you've exhausted either of these top 2 picks that I'm going to give you, I would still roll the dice with the Cincinnati Bengals this week and go with them before going with any other team on the board. Simply because they just, as bad as they've been when they lost, they are still one of the most talented teams in the league. And now we can go with the top 2 picks. And at number 2 is the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots. And this game kind of reminds me of last week's game that I gave you, the Baltimore Ravens. And that is, unless Buffalo just hits the snooze button and forgets they have a game this week, it's going to be hard for them to lose. So it's really nothing I can say to win you over on this game other than Buffalo, even with a worst grade, if they get a D- or an F+ on this game, they still should be able to win. And my number one pick is the Green Bay Packers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints, they actually put up a good fight last week against the Washington Commanders. Actually went for the jugular and they were trying to win instead of go to overtime. So I have to respect that. And I just think it's going to be tough for them to go into Lambeau Field and pull a victory out with everything that they have going on. And the only offensive piece that they had that was in place from the beginning of the year, which was Alvin Kamara, he got hurt last week too. So their whole offensive scheme may be with backups. This is probably the best spot to use the Green Bay Packers because they have 2 divisional games left and they're with Minnesota and Chicago. And they may very well be resting players at the end of the season, depending on where they're cemented in the playoff seeding. They could be a 5 and 6 and may not be able to better their playoff seed and just opt to sit players in the last couple of weeks of the season. So Green Bay is the number one pick this week, guys. And I want to just scoot over here and see where things are with my Survivor leagues. This is let's see where things are in this league. I like to just look and see where everyone is. And this league looks like it still has 11 folks in it, which is pretty good. 3 of which haven't lost a pick this year. So if I had to guess on this one, guys, I would say this one's going to be over with in 2 weeks. So let's see. But yeah, there's still 3 people that can pick 2 wrong. So let's see if this one goes to the end of the year. And once it gets to, let's just say 3 or 4 or 5, they may decide that they just want to split the pot. So that's another thing that may happen. In my other league, there are, let's see, there's still 417 people left in this league. Wow. I would have thought it would have been under 400 this week, but with 3 weeks to go, I think this one's going to go really quick because you only get 1 strike in this league, and they still have 3 weeks left to pick 2 games for 3 weeks. That's going to be pretty hard. But 417 people left out of 5,533. Pretty impressive. And there you have it, guys. Those are the picks that I would go with this week had I made it to this week. And good luck to you guys who are still out there making great picks every week. And do me a favor before I go, guys. Spike that like, comment, subscribe, and it's your boy, the Black Mamba, out.